Hi guys, Paul here at Radioshop, and we're on tour today. We've come up to Abergavenny to Richard Meyrick Guitars. We're here with the man himself, and he's going to give me a bit of a factory tour. So, yeah, I'm like a kid in the sweet shop. Let's have a look. So what have we got?
Well, this is my workshop. I have a few machines. So I've got a planer over here, a table saw here, a thicker sander and a bandsaw. They're all for sort of rough shaping and cutting out of the woods. I do a lot of my work with hand tools, so I've got chisels at the back and planes and saws and things. I keep all of my wood in this back room in here.
Yeah, Paul's told me about this room, because this is the room I'm excited to see.
So I keep this room in a constant temperature and constant humidity.
Yeah.
So the wood doesn't dry out too quickly or too slowly, and it keeps nice and stable. This is where I keep the wood, the guitars that I'm working on, and bits of work that I've only just started. There's a couple of soundboards there. And I also keep guitars that I'm repairing.
Yeah. So what have we got in at the moment?
There's a D28 here. I've got a double neck harp guitar from the 20s, made by Stella, which has had a lot of work done to it.
Yeah.
It was in a state when I got it.
So you got two D28s in for neck reset, did you say?
Yeah, two D28s for neck reset. So there's one neck there, one neck there. Over time, necks just start to pitch forwards a little bit, so the action gets higher and higher and higher, and you end up with no saddle height and
because this is the
guitar.
thing I'm learning about, like sort of acoustics and really high quality ones, is that you play them, you have them for years, but you're going to get issues with them.
Yeah.
Is that just a natural thing that's going to happen?
It is, yeah. So both these D28s are 20 or 30 years old.
Yeah.
And that's about when you start getting troubles with them. But you can have ones 50 years old and you've got no troubles with them.
It's just because it's wood and it's not,
It's wood and it's under a lot of strain, so the strings are pulling everything together, and it's just pulling, the neck is just getting pitched up. And
it's like a medieval room, and I keep getting distracted by these. This is what, I'm just immediately, what's going on here? Sorry to interrupt you, but
that's alright. These guitars are ones that I'm working on. These two have had a finish, and I've started to polish them. So this is an Oxwich parlour guitar, and this back is oak, and then the top is European spruce.
Yeah.
I haven't finished sanding the sides yet, but
so you finished the back there.
Yeah. So it's had 18 coats of lacquer, and then I've sanded it and buffed it.
Yeah. And you've got, these are the, I always go straight for the rosewood, I gotta be honest. I love marking and other Tonewoods, but wow.
Yeah, this is a Rossili, which is more or less an OM size.
Yeah.
Indian rosewood back and sides with Koa binding, and then this soundboard is Adirondack spruce.
Right.
And then this one.
I'm still looking at that one.
Then this one I'm about halfway through the grain filling, so looks
it looks a bit more advanced stage, doesn't it?
So this is Indian rosewood as well, with maple binding, and then old growth redwood soundboard.
Yeah, I can see one of the things I wanted to ask was I can see you've got sort of spruce tops there.
Mm-hmm.
And to what extent can you sort of choose better woods than say the big manufacturers like Martins and Taylors, and they're obviously consuming lots and lots of wood.
Yeah.
Can you offer a better top?
The quality of the top probably isn't any better, but because I'm making a guitar one at a time, and I'm spending a lot of time looking at the top and feeling the top and listening to it as well, you get a really good idea of what the soundboard is going to end up like. And this is one that I've had for years, and it's a reject. It's about the right thickness, and it looks nice. The grain lines are really close together. It's a nice looking top, but it's so floppy. that it would never make a good guitar.
So do you, I mean, like, would this, obviously, can I just borrow it and take it home? No, I don't. But I'd probably be happy with it. But, you know, but why would you reject it? Because it's just not good enough, really, for your style.
Yeah.
But like, would someone else let that through, like a bigger sort of mass producer?
Probably. They have much sort of broader tolerances, and their bracing is a lot heavier.
Right.
So they can get away with having a more floppy top because their bracing is going to make it a stiff guitar anyway. But the way that I build guitars is I make them quite light, and quite delicate.
Yeah.
So a top like this, which is so soft across its width and along its length as well, just wouldn't last, and it wouldn't make a good sounding guitar.
Yeah. So you've got, you know, obviously you're a smaller maker, but you're an expert maker. Like, coming with you, you're going a bit further than other people, and you're also rejecting certain things. And it's not up to what you want.
Yeah, the amount of man hours that I put onto each guitar is a lot more than a bigger company would.
Yeah.
And it's those man hours that sort of gets you, without sounding a bit tree huggery, it gets you more in touch with the guitar that you're making, the wood that you're using. So you get a really good connection, and you know what's going to work and what's not going to work.
And those are some classicals then, yeah?
They are, yes. That's those two classicals are made by a student.
Yeah.
So I usually have a few students in making guitars a couple of days a week.
I'm just taken with this OM, because OM for me is the guitar I really want. Can you just tell me what type of binding is that? Herringbone?
Yes. Yeah. So that's called crow's foot herringbone. So it's just a little bit more delicate, I think.
Yeah. What is that made of? Like, 'cause it's not made of crow's feet, is it?
No, it's
but obviously
it's just veneers glued up together in a pattern, and then they slice it very thinly on a bandsaw, and then that's what it comes out as.
I mean, if I was, because I'm coming in, I'm just thinking I want to get one now. But like, I could choose this. I could choose a different rosette.
Yeah.
I could choose the binding.
Yeah.
Oh God, this is dangerous.
Binding, purfling, back and sides. It all depends on the sort of guitar you end up with.
Awesome.
And how you want it to play.
And sound, obviously, and brilliant. Let's keep going. So, Richard, I can see you're going to be doing a bit of, is it sort of back bracing, shaving?
Yeah.
Is that the right word?
I'm shaping the back braces. So the back braces don't have an awful lot of impact on the tone.
Okay. Because I was going to ask, this seems to be a big sort of subject for debate. If, for instance, if you're looking at, I don't know, the D35 in a Martin range and sort of D28, different bracing patterns, different tones. What can you tell us about
that? Different braces on the soundboard have a really big effect on the tone. With the back braces, it's a lot less. The idea for the back braces is that you want them to be as light but as stiff as possible. And it's more or less the same on a soundboard as well. You want the whole guitar to be just past the point of, or just before the point of collapse. That's where it sounds best. So if you have a guitar that's very heavily built, it just won't resonate as well as a guitar that's very lightly built. But a guitar that's too lightly built will sound great, and then it'll fall apart. So you need something in the middle. So I'm just shaving these braces to take a little bit of weight off, but keep the strength in the brace as well. These back braces also make the back curved, so the back of the guitar is arched slightly, and that adds strength to the shape.
And the top?
And the top, yeah. The back is more arched than the top. So a flat top guitar is never.
It's a misnomer.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's ever so slightly domed.
What if it was flat? What would be the effect of that?
If it was flat, any changes in humidity or temperature would make it go concave or collapse.
Wow. So how do you know all this? I understand how did you get into guitar making, and what's this kind of story behind it?
I went to university to learn how to make and repair musical instruments. I did that 11 years ago, and I've been making guitars ever since.
Oh.
So a lot of it was through learning at university, but most of it is through having guitars in that I've had to repair.
Yeah.
Because I can see what doesn't work on guitars and what does work.
Have you got a personal favourite body shape that you do, or guitar? Like, what is your go-to guitar?
I really like these little parlour guitars.
Yeah.
So this is an Oxwich model, which is a very small parlour guitar, and it's got 12 frets to the body, quite a short scale length, and it's just lovely to play.
Yeah.
It fits really nicely.
I think for me, what I've seen here is like the OMs. They get me absolutely going, and I think Paul's going to have to drag me out of here because I'm going to end up getting myself into financial difficulty. But I mean, there are a number of ways to pay for your guitar as well, and you can even, could you tell us a bit? You do courses, don't you?
I do, yeah. So I have courses where people come in and build a guitar from start to finish. Everything is done by them, unless they don't want to use a particular tool or they don't feel comfortable doing something, but mostly it's just the people making their own guitar at their own pace.
Yeah.
And it's the guitar they want to build. So I've got someone making a couple of classical guitars, I've got someone making a cutaway OM size guitar, and people have made electric guitars.
Yeah, and Paul Dunn was here making, what was the style of guitar then? That was a parlour, wasn't it?
Yeah, he made a little Oxwich in, it was walnut, wasn't it? Walnut. Yeah, walnut and
we'll put some photos of that on, but yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm like a kid in a sweet shop here in your workshop. So Richard, we've just seen a little bit of footage of you putting some sides in the machine, and I'm going to call it the machine because has it got a fancier name than that?
Side bending machine.
There you are. I don't know anything about wood bending, and obviously you've got one behind you there, which is, what's that from?
This is Ovancol, the wood.
Right.
It's a hardwood from, I think, Africa. And it sounds really nice, and it bends really nice, and it looks, takes a nice sheen. So it's good wood to use.
Because it's already shiny there, isn't it? Catching a bit of light on there now. There's nothing on there.
No, that's just roughly sanded.
And you sprayed, I noticed when you put the wood in, before you put the wood in the machine, you sprayed, what were you spraying with?
That is, it's called veneer softener. So it just opens up the fibres a little bit, makes it a little bit more pliable before you bend it. Basically, you want to, the way you bend wood is you get it hot and you put a bit of pressure on it. So the wood here is about 2 millimeters thick, so it's fairly thin and it's wanting to bend already. And then I put it in this machine, and this red blanket on top has a heating element inside it, so that gets very hot very quickly, and it provides even temperature. And when it gets up to the right temperature, I start pulling these springs down, which holds the upper and lower bouts into position. And then when they're bent, I will crank this middle clamp down, and that will get the waist bent, and then you just leave it there till it cooks, basically. So it takes about 10 minutes from start to finish.
And when it comes out, it doesn't want to go back to its original shape. It just
some woods will spring back a little bit. So if that happens, you can just rebend. You can see this one's a little bit,
because it's going to go into, from my understanding, it's going to go into a jig. It's going to be going through a gluing process, and that will, and the purfling, and if I'm right, I don't know.
Binding. But you don't want to put too much stress on the guitar when you're building it. So if it has unbent a little bit like this one has, I will just put it on the bender, or I could even put it back in there and just rebend it, and it will keep its shape a lot better. Than some woods will spring back when they're bent, some woods won't. This one does a little bit.
And what, I was too busy filming you to notice what wood is it you've got in here.
It's called Ovancol.
Oh, so that's Ovancol as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the other side of this guitar.
Ah, right. Okay. Right. Now I see. And obviously this is an Amroth. What style body is an Amroth?
It's a European jumbo size, so it's not like a J200 size. It's a big guitar, but it's nice and curvy and it's got quite a tight waist.
Awesome, that's awesome. Thank you. So Richard, what guitar do we have here?
This is a Kilgarran model. It's got African mahogany backsides and neck with a European spruce soundboard and ebony headstock veneer, fretboard, bridge, and ebony binding as well. It's a 12 fret, more or less triple O model. So the body joins the neck at the 12th fret, which gives a little bit more volume and a bit of a sweeter tone, but you do lose the ability to play quite so well past the octave. And
if somebody is obviously ordering a guitar for yourself, what sort of choices do they have in terms of how can they vary like this guitar or any guitar that you make?
I make 5 standard flat top guitars. But if people want their own shapes, I can make other guitar shapes as well. But within each model, you can choose what back and sides wood you want, what soundboard wood you want. You can have different neck spacing, a different neck shape, so you can really customize it or tailor it to your playing style.
And obviously adornments in terms of like binding, the fret markers.
Yeah, it's all down to personal taste and what you want. So this one is a fairly basic sort of model, but it does, like all my guitars, have solid wood binding. All the wood I use is the highest grade I can get, and the different woods will provide different sounds. So it sort of depends on how you play and what.
I thought you were going to touch on the mahogany rosewood debate then for a second.
Yeah. So this is mahogany, which will give you a better sort of response. So it's very good for quick finger picking. Something like rosewood will give you a lot more projection, and it will give you a bit more of a chiming sound, but it's not so great for note separation. But it does sound really good in other ways. So it's just different tastes.
And what about, say, spruce, cedar? How many different tone woods do you sort of offer?
This is European spruce, which is slightly softer than something like Sitka spruce. So it's very nice for finger picking. Sitka spruce you would more associate with slightly heavier playing or strumming. Something like cedar is softer again and gives a much more mellow sort of sound. But if you play it very hard, it can get overwhelmed. And I started using redwoods as well, which is a sort of another softwood again, and it gives a different sound, but quite a unique sound.
I just want to hear what it sounds like. I think we'll have a little play now. I'm just copying your words now with that when you said a quick response. It's Chris Burke when you need him. Pick it out as a mahogany, I reckon, if you're doing a blind fill test. Yeah. Beautiful. And look, I love the slotted headstock. This is something from classical guitar making that's come up with. I mean, they were a pain to change strings on, obviously.
Yeah.
But and this shape as well, kind of the squared off, or I don't know if that's the right word. But
Yeah.
Beautiful. Awesome. All right.